Meet this man. According to the Time magazine, he was one of the most influential people in 2018. You might not have seen him or remember him, but you probably remember these.
We didn't take a broad enough view of our responsibility, and that was a big mistake. And it was my mistake, and I'm sorry.
How is today's apology different, and why should we trust Facebook to make the necessary changes to ensure user privacy?
It was 2018. The Guardian published an interview with a young whistleblower.
My name is Christopher Wiley. I'm a data scientist, and I helped set up Cambridge Analytica.
In an interview, he revealed that the company harvested 50 million Facebook profiles and sold them to political campaigns. It was time we all became a little bit more aware of our online privacy. The same year, an ex-YouTube employee revealed YouTube's secret algorithm and its bias. And then last year, Facebook's whistleblower Frances Haugen told us that social media algorithms are damaging our mental health, knowingly. We've all seen and we've all giggled a bit at Mark Zuckerberg's testimony at Congress, but with all this IT mumbo-jumbo, it's important to get to the bottom of two questions. What are algorithms and what are they doing to us? In the most primitive sense, an algorithm is a set of instructions or steps to reach a specific result, like a recipe.
Yummy.
Let's say your most beloved grandma left you her famous cookie recipe. You got your ingredients at home, so you take that piece of paper and start following it step by step. Flour, eggs, mixing, then add a cup of rum for some reason. Finally, you get cookies. Just like your grandma used to make. But it all depends on the right instructions, the right ingredients, and finally, what you do with the result. We don't want the cookies to make our teenagers depressed, right? Now let's translate it into digital. On social media and other platforms, the ingredients are your data. For example, you mostly like pictures with kids in them, or you share a lot of astrology quotes. Then this data is analyzed in specific steps depending on the task we want to perform. Let's say we want you to stay on the platform as long as possible. So we create an algorithm that will check what you do on social media and tell us what kind of content keeps you engaged. And voila! We now know what needs to show up in your feed. This could lead to content that will make you anxious or scared, but very often scared means engaged. Yet we tend to get used to it, so the platforms need to make the content more scary or more sad to keep us on the hook. Welcome to the rabbit hole. Now, the famous Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen revealed that this is exactly how Facebook algorithms work, and the company knows it. She said that the company's own research called users addicts who cannot step away from content that makes them unhappy. Other machine learning specialists showed us a discrimination bias in the works. For example, an AI recruiting tool that Amazon used showed bias against women. You see, the ingredients they gave to analyze were not the best, to say the least. They wanted the algorithm to check the resumes and find the best people to hire. The data that they gave were their own employees' resumes.
Expect the unexpected.
That's how the algorithm taught itself that male candidates were more preferable and gave negative evaluation to resumes that included the word women's, like Women's Chess Club, for example.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Algorithms can also lead to price variation, like the Wall Street Journal investigation shows. It found that the staples prices differed based on people's locations. Google's comment ranking system seemed to go even further. This Perspective API was made to use machine learning to reduce toxicity online. When making this tool, the team reviewed hundreds of thousands of comments to identify the ones that deterred people from a conversation. Based on this data, Perspective gave rankings from 0 to 100, depending on how close the comment was to what the AI understood as toxic. But the result? Boy, oh boy. I'm a gay black woman earned an 87% toxicity score. And I'm a man was found as the least toxic comment. Could it be that we as humans are not the best teachers?
No way.
There seems to be countless threats and platforms collecting our data and algorithms making decisions that could have severe consequences. It changes our behavior, our mental health, our decisions, and it can affect our work and our travels. There is a serious discussion to be had here. Most tech giants say that fighting AI with AI is the right decision.
Get down.
For example, our most beloved alien Mark says that we can combat misinformation online with AI tools that identify those types of content and do that filtering upfront. But AIs aren't perfect. In 2017, LGBTQ creators found out that quite a lot of their videos weren't being shown to the youth. Same happened with Twitter when it filtered out every tweet with the word bisexual because it tends to also appear in adult content. Besides instructions, we tend to teach algorithms, racism, sexism, and all the other isms that people are guilty of.
Oh my god, no way!
Yet, algorithms are also evolving. Take, for example, this AI that is improving cancer diagnosis. A young girl came to her checkup in New York University. Her doctor ran the testing and thought that her cancer was recurring. Yet he wasn't entirely sure, so he turned to a computer. The algorithm-based AI gave a completely different diagnosis. It wasn't the same type of cancer. It was actually a tumor that was caused by the radiation treatment. If not for the doctor's decision to use AI for diagnosis, the girl might have suffered severe consequences. In the right hands, at the right time, algorithms can save lives. And companies are now experimenting with a fairness metric called conditional demographic disparity. Researchers were interested in how well technical work matches up with law and philosophy. So now we have a tool to teach algorithms fairness. But with fast innovation and sparkly new products, also come their consequences. And we should never lose track of the sacrifices that these companies ask us to make to watch the content we like. A cookie for subscribe?
Cookie!